Hi, and welcome to Preview. My name is Guy Giampapa. Preview.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue Guy.
Hello again, and welcome to Preview. My name is Guy Giampapa. On our program today, we're going to celebrate Jesus Christ Superstar, just in time for the Easter season. But before we do that, let's talk about theater in Boston. While Mother Nature is pounding us with snow and sleet, the Walpole Footlighters are creating a different scene with their presentation of their latest production, Summer in Smoke. This drama by Tennessee Williams takes place in a tiny town in Mississippi just before World War I. The main character is Alma Weinmiller, the neurotic and sexually repressed daughter of the town's minister. Here, Alma, played by Emily, is seen with her father, portrayed by Woody Farrick, and mother, played by Barbara Shapiro. Alma secretly loves young Dr. Buchanan, played by Peter McElhenney, but young Dr. Buchanan considers Alma just a friend and has an eye for the lively Rosa Gonzalez seen here. As time passes, Alma changes and offers herself to the young doctor. He tells Alma he has met a sweet young woman and has no further interest in her. Stunned by this, Alma takes a walk in the local park where she meets a traveling salesman. He's played by Jim Daly, and in this brief scene, he and Alma go hand in hand to spend the night at the local casino. Director Marianne Finney designed the set containing 3 units, a park with a strikingly beautiful statue at center stage, Dr. Buchanan's office on the right, and Alma's home on the left. Moving from one scene to another is quite effective. The Footlighters' version of Summer in Smoke will make you forget our winter weather and give you a warm feeling. Here's some good news from the City Performing Arts Center. Ali MacGraw and Ryan O'Neal reunite on the stage in Love Letters. You might remember seeing them in the romantic film Love Story many years ago. They will be at the Shubert Theater on February 2nd through the 7th in 2016. Elf, the Broadway musical, will make its Boston debut November 16th through December 6th at the City Wang Theater. This is the hilarious tale of Buddy, a young orphan child who mistakenly crawls into Santa's bag of gifts. Perfect show for the holiday season. Following a sellout engagement last season, an original Christmas classic comes to life at the Shubert Theater. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical, returns to capture the hearts and wonder of generations of fans. Don't miss this beloved favorite from December 1 through the 5th at the Shubert Theater. And finally, Once, the winner of 8 Tony Awards, returns to Boston by popular demand. This lovely musical, a celebration of life and love, will be at the Shubert Theater for a limited engagement from December 8th through the 27th. Tickets for Love Letters, Once, and Rudolph are on sale at the City Center box office. Tickets for Elf, the Broadway musical, will go on sale in the near future. Well, now that we've talked about theater in Boston, let's talk about theater down in Norwell. My guests today are, as always, Zoe Bradford, the artistic director, who's with us once again. And she's brought 2 actors here. The first one is Brendan Duquette, and you're playing Jesus Christ in Jesus Christ Superstar, right?
I am, yes.
Well, that's wonderful. You look the part. You know, this is really good casting.
Isn't it?
It truly is.
Without the beard, I do have a baby face.
Okay. Before we go any further, I have some news for you, Zoe. The Ernie nominations are out. I don't know if have you heard?
No.
Okay, I have. The Company Theater received 4 nominations.
Oh, how
And I have
wonderful.
them here, and I want to read them to you
Oh,
and
how
to our
great.
public. For Best Supporting Actress in a Musical, Jennifer Glick for Les Mis. Best
Fantastic.
Supporting Actor in a Musical, Andrew Giordano. Best Music Director in a Musical, Michael Joseph, who I know is going to win. And also Best Actor in a Musical, Danny Bolton for The Drowsy Chaperone.
Oh, 2 of our shows being recognized, Les Mis, and
Congratulations.
recognized is beautiful.
2 terrific shows.
Thank
I
you.
am disappointed that the overall musical Les Mis did not win. In my mind, it should have
Yeah.
won because it was a fantastic show. And I spoke to several members of Ernie who agreed with me on that.
Well, that's kind of you to
But
say,
you
and we
have these-
appreciate
and I
we
wanna give that
appreciate
to
the
you.
support.
Okay.
Yahoo!
All right.
I love it.
So that's done, cut. We'll go to
Great.
Jesus Christ
I love
Superstar. All right, so you picked this guy to play the lead.
I did. He's such a gift because he's literally a sponge. He came in open-minded and open heart and willing to work, and I love it.
Thank you.
Have you ever played that role before?
I have played Jesus, but in a very different production.
Oh, really?
It's called Godspell. The
Yes,
Stephen
yes.
Schwartz musical. He's written
Another wonderful musical.
Wicked, Children of Eden, musicals like that. So it's a very different interpretation of Jesus, but I think he still finds, the heart and love that Jesus has. So I find this role is a little more, it's more dramatic. It's
Right.
it's more comes down to it, and it really shows you the facts. It really gives you the truth as to what really happened to Jesus, And so I think it doesn't touch base on that in Godspell too much, and that show tends to confuse people too much. If you're not really open-minded with that one, it tends to right over your head. But
Yeah,
with
but
Jesus,
this one doesn't. This
right,
one stays with you.
This one really
Yeah.
stays with you. You'll walk away from the show feeling for Christ because, he only wanted to love and to impart his knowledge to the people, and they didn't want to listen to it, and he suffered for our sins. So I think this one will really impact an audience, and especially with the direction of this one. It's a very we're going with a different type of theme this time, but it's definitely one to see.
Zoe, what made you pick Brendan for that title role?
Well, as soon as I saw his face, actually, I'm like, wait a minute, there's Jesus right there. What's wrong with that?
That's so funny.
Sometimes it's gut instinct, Guy. It really is.
Yeah,
You know,
you say that, and I believe you because when he walked in the door before we started taping the show,
Yeah.
I looked out and said, Jesus is here.
beautiful. That's
Really,
perfect.
yeah, and that's a compliment to
Well,
you.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's wonderful. And my good friend Michael Hammond had worked with him before, and
Oh, I
so-
didn't know that. Michael
Yeah,
worked with him before.
Brendan knew you.
Yeah.
Brendan and Michael knew each other, and
Okay.
and so he came highly recommended
Oh, great.
as a good person to work with. So. It's very important for your cast to get on the bandwagon
Yeah.
and love Jesus. If you don't have that, you have nothing. So you don't have the show. So it is important to have someone with a personality that is warm and and open and listening and all of that.
Yeah.
So I knew this was the right decision.
And they're also easy to love. Once you meet all of
yeah.
them, you're like, you're great. You want to
It's
see
a nice
them.
ensemble,
Yeah.
really is.
Always. I'm going to call Michael this afternoon and thank him
Oh, good.
for recommending this.
Yes, definitely.
Well, now the show opens on March 13th. Now we're taping this a week
Yes.
beforehand, but you're going right up through the day before Easter.
Yes, it's
Right.
it's
Is
a
that a
holy
long
season
run?
kind of thing.
Okay.
4 weeks. That's what we usually do in the spring if we
Okay.
can, and we purposely put this so it ends the day before Easter. This is my third time directing Jesus Christ Superstar. I will say that's
didn't
quite
know
a
that.
career choice. Myself, Jordy Saucerman, Michael Joseph, Sally Forrest, we all love it. We
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
all love the piece. I will say in my career, it is in my top favorites. And of course, I've directed over 100 things. I don't know, I've even lost count. So whatever, but I love it because of its depth and
Yeah.
its passion. And it does have some humor. It does have some light moments. But it's really hard to go away and not feel something after this show, and that's what I love in my part of my work. So this third time around, I felt like we have to take some fresh approaches and do
Always.
some things a little bit differently. But I'm hoping that the audience will get on board and
Well, I
love it
think
as much
they
as
will.
we do.
I think because of the season, I
Yes.
think that will draw people in also.
Absolutely.
But I also wonder why the composer took this vein. I mean, he had Phantom of the Opera and he had all these other great big musicals.
Yes.
But he went for religion in this one.
Yeah, well, I think Andrew Lloyd Webber comes from
yeah.
an Anglican background.
Yeah.
So I believe his father was an Anglican minister
Oh, I didn't know
in
that.
England. Yeah,
No.
and so his Requiem, for instance, boy, you can really hear that
Yeah.
influence in that piece. But Lloyd Webber's, and of course Tim Rice with the lyrics. I think they just had a perfect marriage of something young and innovative and fresh in the 70s. I mean, I remember my art teacher in high school putting this record on. I was very young. I was only 14. And saying, musical, a rock musical about Jesus. You guys got to listen to this. Let's, we were painting or drawing or something on that day, and she put it on, and she wanted us to hear it. And from that second on, I was in love with it, and I was interested in it. It was radical because it made you think in ways that you might not have.
Yeah.
And of course the music's infectious. It's
Oh,
great,
yeah.
great stuff.
That's the greatest part of it.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I didn't like it. I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
But I was forming an opinion. I said,
Right.
I mean, are they making fun of Jesus or?
Right, exactly.
What's the story? But then when I saw it, my whole
Yeah.
attitude changed.
Exactly. It caused a lot of controversy
Yeah.
in its day. I believe it was banned by the Catholic Church. Now, of course, they will
didn't
show
know
it in
that.
CCD classes.
Really?
But that's or at least very restricted. Not considered a good work. At first, this was in the
In the
70s.
beginning, yeah,
But
yeah.
but now, of course, is part
things
of
have
youth
changed
groups
so
and everything
much.
else. But because they do see the richness of it,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and but for its time, it was a real groundbreaker.
It really was, yeah.
And,
Brendan, do you find any part of the show difficult?
Any part of the show where I am trying to really get into, and maybe like an angry scene, because I'm a very happy person.
Right.
So anytime where I have to really get angry at the cast because some of their faces are just so, like they're just so cute, So it's like when I really have to get mad at them and put them in their place, that's a little hard for me. Because I don't like to yell at people, but
But you're acting.
right?
I mean,
right.
You have to remember that.
But
Yeah.
any Gethsemane is Jesus's big moment, I think, in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place in Act 2. All of his apostles fall asleep, and he has his moment with God. And I think that's definitely a big number for me that I really have to commit to, and make sure it's not just a song being sung on stage.
Yeah.
I want people to feel what Jesus went through and what he had to talk to God about. So before his crucifixion. So I think that's definitely a very hard part for me in terms of accepting death, and because no one wants to accept death
Right.
within friends, family. So I think that's definitely an important part of it, for sure. Yeah.
I think you're going to do a terrific job.
Thank you so
And I'm
much.
looking forward to seeing you in
Thank
this
you.
show.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to let you go now, and we're going to talk with David.
Thank you so
So
much.
congratulations
Thank you.
on the
Thank you
show.
for having me.
We'll be right back, folks. Hey, we're back, and we're talking about the Company Theater and their 2015 season, which opened with the Full Monty last month, and now this month they're playing Jesus Christ Superstar, and one of the actors in the show is David Giles. Welcome to our show, David.
Hi, thank you for having
It's good
me.
to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Tell me, what part are you playing in this show?
I am playing Judas.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, I know. That's what most people say. Oh my goodness.
That's my patron saint, St. John. Really.
St. Jude. That's it.
I'm really excited to play this role, and I actually didn't know how demanding it was until after I accepted
Yes.
the role and
Yeah.
listened to the album, and I was like,
Oh.
what did I get myself into?
Have you worked with Company Theater before?
I have not. This is my first
Oh,
experience
well,
with
you're
the
for a great
Company
treat.
Theater.
Yes,
No,
we're
it's-
excited.
It has been a treat so far. Like Brendan said in the earlier segment, everyone from the cast to production staff has been pretty amazing. So it's kind of like a little family. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Good,
it.
good for you.
Thank you.
I have nothing but praise for the Company Theater.
Awesome. Awesome.
All the shows I've seen down there, I mean, they're tremendous. This is, to me, this is real theater. I mean, you can go into Boston, you go to the big theaters and see the productions and love them. But when you go into the suburbs, like Norwell, boy, you're in for a great treat.
Thank you for that.
And well, I
It's
mean
the
it. I mean it,
dedication,
Zoe. You've had some great actors down there too.
We have. Oh, we get a
Boy,
lot
I'm
of
telling
talent.
you, there are no amateurs.
No.
Really.
No,
They're
they all love it. They're all passionate about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what
absolutely.
the show demands.
And
And you
that's why
have to
it's-
have the passion.
That's why it's such a success.
It is.
Yeah. So you got this big role.
This big
Wow.
role, yeah, yeah. It's pretty hefty, but we were talking in the car on the way up here My dad, I'm not sure how my dad would feel because my dad's a Pentecostal preacher.
Oh.
And, growing up in Sunday school, vacation
Yeah.
Bible school, you never hear about the human characteristics of Judas. But of course, this role, brings that to light,
Yeah.
which is wonderful. So kind of like my church boy on the inside is fighting with the actor, which makes for a wonderful little journey. So that should be interesting to kind of bring to light on stage.
Have you talked to your dad about this?
I have not yet.
Oh, not yet?
After the show, I'm gonna call him and say, "Hey, Dad, I'm playing Judas," and we'll see what his reaction
You think
is.
the fur will fly?
Yeah, he'll be like, "I'm coming to
Coming up.
Boston. I'm
Yeah.
coming to Boston."
Well, he should come and he should see you.
He
because I
should,
think
right?
He'll be in for a treat.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And the conflict is part of the richness
Yeah,
of it. I
yeah.
mean, Judas is conflicted.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so you're bringing that to it naturally. It's
Definitely,
great.
And that's
definitely.
what makes great drama.
It does.
Things like that. Yeah.
The role is particularly special because it really does show that relationship between Judas and Jesus, which especially a lot of us Bible readers, we never really get a chance to think about, oh, well, Jesus had to see something good in
Right.
Judas. And, Judas had to
Right.
have seen something good in Jesus to have that marriage of friendship, right? So the musical does a wonderful job of that. And Brendan, the connection that Brendan and I have on stage it's a treat. So I'm excited for everyone to kind of see that. So, yeah.
David, what have you done before this? What's your background?
My background, I've done a lot of teaching, and as far as theater, I've done a lot here in Boston and also in Chicago. I'm from Chicago,
Yes.
So started with Ragtime. Actually, I'm not sure if I
One
can
of my favorite shows.
say this.
I'm with you on that. I love that show.
Love it.
But before Ragtime, my first professional show, and my dad doesn't know this either, was actually a musical review called Bare Naked Lads Save Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a nude review. It was great. It was artistically done, but my dad didn't know about that either.
I guess we won't send him a copy of this.
I understand why.
I've also done the Full Monty
Yeah,
in that line, and a host of other things. Tarzan I've done.
Oh, that's fun.
Which was fun as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, I've done quite a bit. I do a lot of weddings as well. So I bring a lot of love music to brides and grooms on their special day as well.
When you perform at weddings, is it singing?
It is singing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
singing. So I sing with a couple of wedding bands in the Boston area too.
Were you trained in voice?
I was. I got a second degree from Berklee College of Music.
Wow,
So
good-
did
good
that.
for you.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to be able to do what I love and meet wonderful people in the process and kind of build that external family, that artistic family.
How did you meet?
Well, he had heard about the audition, but he was in Chicago visiting
Oh.
family, so he auditioned via a YouTube tape.
No kidding.
In his family's garage, there's like gas cans and tires and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. It had good acoustics in there, and I said, this guy's gonna be great. And so as soon as he came back, we got him going. And casting is everything, as you
Yeah,
know.
it is, yeah.
It really is key. But I think right away when we started talking, I knew we were going to hit it off and have a good journey together of what we wanted to bring to this
Right.
show and what we want the audience to come away with. And it's so important for people today. As I had mentioned before, I had directed this 3 different times in my career, starting in 1995. Once in 2000, and now 15 years ago, this was a totally different experience through the media, through a lot of negativity that's around Christianity. It's hard that people are tending to pull away from the church en masse, and this
Yeah.
is a beautiful opportunity to hear the real story. It's eyewitness accounts. People forget that. The Gospels, the
Yeah,
4
yeah.
Gospels are what happened.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
and if you just cut away all of these other things, be they negative or homophobic or people just not being positive about other people, which unfortunately will give Christianity a bad name, and you strip all that away and you look at what this story is really about. It's beautiful, and for some people it'll be a journey of history, and for others it will feel like kind of possibly a renewing of their faith, or for others
Yeah,
it may
it could
feel
be.
like kind of a miracle that they've experienced, that they're realizing what the story is and how it can affect people. So and how it can affect your life. So I
Right.
think it's fun and zealous and joyous, and then it's tragic. So you're going to just run the gamut of emotions. You're going to feel good. You're going to love the music. You might have a kind of a retro experience, you know, if
Yeah,
you're older. Great memories of just fabulous music. But I challenge anyone to be able to come and see it without having an emotion, and it's also very important in the climate today. We're treating the there's a whole thing with the Jewish characters in the play, and how important that is to treat this with respect and depth. Our characters who are playing the Jewish priests are not one-dimensional. They're not like the
Right.
villains.
Yeah.
It's written as it is, but how an actor interprets it, or how the director encourages them to interpret it, that's a whole different ballgame.
It's amazing that Andrew Lloyd Webber picked out the 4 Gospels in the Bible to create his play.
Right.
You know, because they are the most popular stories in
Right.
the Bible, and
Right.
we refer to them all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, including the parts from John, which
Yeah,
are so
yeah.
beautiful.
I mean, and they're very colorfully dynamic stories, and I think the music does a wonderful job of
Yes.
partnering the drama that's happening on stage with the characters and the emotion and the music that's underneath it. It's really wonderful, and it's kind of bone chilling sometimes, which as an actor is difficult
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
to not get so emotional and really deliver the truth of the role.
Right,
Because
right.
sometimes, as Judas, sometimes I'm like, I'm so emotional right now. What to do? And really that back but that's been the wonderful thing about working with company. Being able to kind of grow in that vein as
Yeah.
well. Because as an actor, you hope to be. To work with people who are going to, no matter what level you're at, who are going to help you
Yeah.
go further to the next level of where you're supposed to be, and I'm finding that to be true working with these folks. Which
And
is good.
let's not forget the music. Is Michael Joseph?
Yes,
directing?
Michael Joseph
Yeah.
is
Guy's
musical
fabulous.
director
He's
and
awesome.
conductor.
He's
And you have this
And
great orchestra
his
down there.
detail, his
how many
details to it.
local theaters have an orchestra that size?
Right. Yeah,
Not
we
too
will
many.
have I think 18 pieces in this.
Get
one.
out!
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Oh, it's going to blast off. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
know.
cram them in. It's tight.
Now I'm really
Hey, listen.
It's
excited.
tight, but we'll fit everybody in.
You go on that stage and you get that orchestra. You'll think you're on a New York stage.
I hope I don't
Absolutely.
forget. I'll be like, this orchestra.
Yeah, it's really fun.
you'll
He-
catch that in rehearsal.
His details of conducting are
Yeah.
so magnificent. He just flavors everything and guides the actor so beautifully into
He
their
knows what he's doing,
emotional
yeah.
interpretation of lyrics. Nobody just stands there and sings. We all make sure
Yeah.
everybody knows
Yeah.
what it is. And Sally Ashton Forrest, whom you've interviewed before,
Right.
Guy, is doing the choreography
Choreography,
and movement
right.
of this.
Yeah.
And
She's great.
there's a lot of new and interesting movement in it. We've tried to take some fresh approaches with how we're moving the show, and some of it is really great dance, and some of it is just very dramatic movement. And then the look of the show, where I've designed a set, and James Valentin has been the key executor of it, and Cameron McEachern is our visual artist on it, and. It looks kind of like a ruin and a little bit Roman,
Yeah.
and we've put I love the Book of Kells, so we've put patterns from the Book of Kells, but we've kind of interpreted, made it look very cosmic and beautiful, and we've put that on the flooring. So the set is going to be awesome too.
Well, this is fantastic, this whole thing. And I'm so glad that you all were able to come up here to talk about the
too.
show. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. So
Great.
Zoe Bradford, David Giles, and Brendan Duquette, who's sitting in the audience right now, thank you all for coming up. And I wish you a great success with this show. Thanks
you.
very much for all.
Thank you, Guy.
Thank you
God
for
bless.
having us. Thank you.
It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Well, that's our show for this time. My name is Guy Giampapa. See you next time on Preview. Thanks for watching. Bye.